My name is Rex Key. I'm a clay tobacco pipe maker. I've been doing this for quite a few years, getting on towards about 50 years now. I'm sort of semi-retired, but the making of clay pipes, it's a traditional occupation in this village here, Broseley. We've got one of the original Broseley pipeworks still in operation. It was set up in 1881 by a chap called Roland Smitherman. He was one of three major pipe makers in the village at that time. Southerns were the other people involved. Southerns are very well known in clay pipe making, in the clay pipe making world. The technique for making a clay pipe hasn't changed for centuries. The ladies working in the factory here, it's nearly all women and girls who would do this job. They would break off a lump of clay called a nip. This is a white earthenware clay. It looks quite grey as it comes out of the ground, but it fires to a nice white finish when it's been placed into a kiln. So the technique is to roll out the clay to roughly the shape that you want, with a lump at the end that's going to form the bowl. And if you're making the long stemmed pipes, the long church wardens, you keep on rolling, getting a longer and longer stem. I'm making a short pipe at the moment, using one of these original cast iron Victorian moulds. It's the eagle's claw pattern. It's beautifully carved with the eagle's talons clutching a bowl with a nice short stem. So having got the clay to roughly the shape that you want, you break it off the right length and you get a wire that's the right length for going down the stem of the pipe and breaking into the bowl, and then you thread that wire down that roll of clay to make a hole down the stem, and then place the clay into the one half of the mould, squeeze that into place, put the two halves together, making sure that the wire hasn't been pushed all the way along the stem. Then you lift that up and slide it into the vise, squeeze the two halves of the mould together in the vise, and that will squeeze the clay into the shape of the pipe. And you bring down the stopper. This will form the bowl at the end of the pipe where you put your tobacco, and having formed the bowl, you can push the wire the last inch or so, making sure that the wire has broken through into the bowl, so you've got a hole all the way through ready for smoking. You trim off the excess clay in that slot. Now you can open up the mould and see the pipe, the moulded pipe, with the flashes, the little bits of extra bits of clay around the outside. It's got the wire down the stem making the hole, and while the clay's still soft, I've got my name stamp. I can place my name along the stem to show who made the pipe. I now loosen the pipe from the mould, take the wire out and place that on the drying board, the dozening board, with the pipes I've made previously. Leave that to dry, and here I've got a pipe I made earlier. It's dried out a few days ago, so now I can trim off the excess clay with a sharp knife, clearing off the flashes, so you've got a nice smooth finish to the pipe, but it's still very fragile, still very brittle, and it needs to be placed into a kiln and fired for several hours, 6 or 7 hours, until the temperature in the kiln reaches just over 1,000 degrees centigrade, and then the pipe comes out nice and white and hard and ready for smoking, or for blowing bubbles or whatever.